Hello and welcome to Only Connect, where I'm joined by two teams who have previously played here and not won. So whoever loses tonight will be out, O-U-T, out. Although if I actually have to spell the word out for them, it doesn't bode well for the rest of the quiz. Both teams keen to avoid a losing streak, or please God, any other kind of streaking. So let's say hello and fingers crossed to, on my right, Daniel Fullard, an employability tutor with a history degree, who's an enthusiastic member of the Campaign for Real Ale. Brendan Curtis, a diagnostic radiographer who has previously worked as a kitchen porter, a shop assistant, a farmhand and a TEFL teacher in Slovakia. And their captain, Chris Curtis, a detention officer who is currently training for a sponsored walk from London to Bletchley. United by a historic aptitude for athletics, they are the Erstwhile Athletes. You faced the record collectors, Chris, in your last heat. How did that go?
We were a bit like a British 4x100 metre relay team in that we managed to drop the baton. So hopefully we will get the baton round this time.
Perfect. You will be facing, on my left, Stephen McIntosh, a computer science graduate who enjoys Tarantino films and once helped Lembit Opik retrieve an email. Anne Harrison, an engineer and award-winning Latin dancer who recently made a Volkswagen Beetle out of wood. And their captain, Chris Howlett, a software engineer and amateur dramatics enthusiast who's currently rehearsing for a role in Guys and Dolls. United by computing competence, they are the software engineers. You faced the Welsh learners, Chris. Tell me about that game.
I think we were beaten by the better team there. So this time we just have to be the better team.
Are there any areas of knowledge you think you hope won't come up after the last experience?
Music, definitely music.
Well, I think I can guarantee there will be at least one music question, but you've got a 50-50 chance of not getting it. Let's play the quiz. Round one, what's the connection between four apparently random clues? If you've forgotten that, then you're really in trouble. Software engineers, you won the toss. You'll be going first. Please choose your Egyptian hieroglyph.
Lion, please.
OK. Oh, it is the music question, but at least you'll get it out of the way early.
Yep.
Good luck with this, then. You'll be hearing the clues. What connects them? Here's the first.
Next.
I recognise this.
Yes, nice.
Midnight of the Oasis.
Next. I know this as well. Possibly. Do you want me to go for it? What should we take next?
Yeah.
They all mention times of day.
Have another go.
Specifically midnight?
They midnight?
They all mention midnight. I'd have to have accepted they all mention times of day, but the time of day they mention is midnight. You didn't need midnight train to Georgia. Coming in after 3 clues, you get 2 points. Athletes, the good news is the music question is gone. What would you like?
Unfortunately, we happen to know that one as well.
Oh, unlucky. But maybe you'll know this.
May we have 2 reads, please?
You may have 2 reads. What is the connection between these clues? Here's the first.
Next, please.
You're not named after someone, though.
Next, please.
Mr. Piggott. He got jailed for tax evasion, didn't Nassim Hamid? He went to jail after a car crash, didn't he?
Don't know. I'd get the next one.
Next, please.
He's Fred the Shredder.
3 seconds.
They've all been detained at Her Majesty's pleasure.
They were not all imprisoned, so software engineers, you have the chance for a bonus point.
We think they've all lost honours as a result of being detained at Her Majesty's pleasure.
I'm going to accept that they were all stripped of honours. Nassim Hamid lost an MBE, Lester Piggott an OBE, Fred Goodwin a knighthood, of course. What can you tell me about Vidkun Quisling?
Absolutely nothing at all, I'm afraid.
Sorry.
Do you know about Quisling?
He was a traitor, wasn't he?
Yeah, World War II traitor. He was Norwegian.
Yes, he was Norwegian. He had an honorary CBE, which he lost in 1940 because he got involved with a Nazi-backed government. And a quisling is a word used to mean a traitor now, or it could also mean a young quizzer. Hello, little quislings. I'll try and keep it clean. OK, so you get the bonus point, software engineers. Please choose a question.
Horned viper, please.
Horned viper. OK. What is the connection between these clues? Here's the first.
Next. Well, he might be, but not because the Explorer's not going to be. I don't think so. Next.
Oh, they're animated. They are animated characters. It's Angelina Ballerina. The animated characters. Yeah, animated characters.
Oh, that will be Dora. They're children's animated characters.
The thing is, I'm assuming you've seen the show before. We couldn't possibly accept... You're going to have to tell me something else. I mean, that's true of them, but it's just too simple.
They are rhyming children's cartoon characters.
I can't take it. There's a bonus chance for the athletes now. I'm going to show you the last clue.
It's the surnames.
It's
Their surnames, isn't it? Dora
So, yeah.
Go on then.
Is it the surnames of the characters, or Dora Marquez, possibly?
We've swapped in their surnames. You see, I can't accept your answer because these technically aren't animated characters. Dora the Explorer, Fireman Sam, Angelina Ballerina and Postman Pat would be the actual characters' names. They sort of are characters, but the specific thing that's happened to these clues is we've swapped in their surnames, where their first names would normally be in the titles. So that's a bonus point for you, athletes, and your chance to choose a question.
Twisted Flax, please.
Twisted Flax. What is the connection between these clues? Here's the first.
Next, please.
Oh, I bet that's timing for the sponsors for the tennis, for the US Open, the Australian Open.
Could be.
Wimbledon. Should we?
Do you want to get another one to be on the safe side, or do you want to go for it?
What do you think?
Do you think they are confident?
They provide the timing equipment for the US Open tennis, the Australian Open tennis, French Open tennis and Wimbledon.
Oh, goodness me. Well, I'm certainly going to give you the points. You hadn't even seen the next two clues, which were the French Open and Wimbledon. More generally, you might say, the timekeepers for tennis Grand Slam events. But you actually gave me all four without seeing them. Very impressed. I'd give you bonus points if I could. I can't. I can only give you 3 for coming in after 2 clues. Back to you then, software engineers.
Water, please.
Water. These are going to be picture clues. What connects them? Here's the first.
Any particular type
Specific
of water?
type? It's like a double.
It's not one I recognise. Next.
Or is it a castle?
I'm not sure what that is. No. Next.
Putting a ring on a finger.
Must be
It's putting a ring
commissioning
on.
of a... I can't see why that'd be the cathedral. Next. That's a fisherman's
Fisherman's
friend.
friends.
Fisherman?
5 seconds.
I think it must be. I'll go for it. Fisherman.
That is the connection. What do you think you're looking at?
It must be a fisherman's knot. Those are fisherman's friends. I don't know what the other two are.
Do you know what that second one is, Brendan?
I don't actually.
I thought it might, because it's near your area of expertise. It's the Fisherman's Bastion in Budapest.
All right.
And
It's the fisherman's ring.
that's the Fisherman's Ring, the Pope's ring, related, of course, to Peter the Fisherman. And yes, the fisherman's knot is a bend, apparently, but a fisherman's bend is, of course, a hitch. Only a fool would confuse those two knots. But well done, you get the points. And back to the athletes for the last question, the Eye of Horus.
Okay.
What is the connection between these clues? Here's the first.
Next, please. Next, please.
It's French for rabbit. Is it a word one?
Could we get the next one?
Next, please.
Klingo. Add an N on the end makes Klingon.
Yeah. It's,
Valerian.
yeah.
Add something else.
Yeah. So add a letter and you get a Star Trek alien. Try it. Yeah. You need to buzz.
3 seconds.
By adding a letter on the end, you get an alien from Star Trek.
I'm afraid you do not get an alien from Star Trek. So, software engineers, do you want to have a go for a bonus?
If you add a letter, you get a constructed... constructed language.
You get a constructed language. You can add an N to get Klingon, but that's the only alien, I think. What about the other languages?
Elvish.
Elvish.
Elvish from the Lord of the Rings.
Must be Valyrian, I'm guessing.
Yes, from
Not one I know, I'm afraid.
Game of Thrones. And what about that third one? Lapin, the French word for rabbit. The clue is in that. You add an E, you get Lapine. Watership Down. It's the rabbit's language in Watership Down. Elvish, of course, can be written in various scripts, including Tengwar or Fëanorian. Various modes, including Quenya, Sindarin. Anyone here speak any Elvish? Any Klingon?
No.
What kind of an episode is this? An Only Connect show where nobody can speak Elvish or Klingon? We must try harder. Very well played, though, in round one. The closing scores there are Erstwhile Athletes 4, Software Engineers 5. Round 2, sequences. This time the teams must work out the connections first, but tell me what comes next in a sequence, and they may only see a maximum of 3 clues in order to do that. Software Engineers, which question would you like?
Take lion again.
Lion. OK, what do you think would be the 4th clue in this sequence? Here's the first.
Prince. Little Prince. Next. I can't tell. Next.
It's the meal. It's the meal prodigy. Is it master? But then what's the title? What's with the numerals?
Just master, I think.
Okay.
5 seconds.
Might as well guess it. 4th master.
And why would that be?
They appear to be titles given to descending offspring of nobility or something of that. We're not really sure.
That's not right, because as you were saying to yourselves, the numbers wouldn't mean anything there. So there's a possible bonus chance for the athletes. I can't give you a long time. No, you don't know it. No. Now, the reason why it's the and 2 and the 3rd is because we're talking about...
Oh, Blackadder.
Blackadder. Yes, the Blackadder. He's Prince Edward, Duke of Edinburgh.
Goes fourth captain.
2, Blackadder 2, he's Lord Blackadder. Blackadder the 3rd, he's just Blackadder Esquire. And Blackadder goes 4th. He's captain. So no points there, although, Brendan, you got to bang your head on the desk, which is an important thing to do in any quiz, I think. And your chance to choose a question.
May we have 2 reads, please?
Yes, you may. What is the 4th in this sequence? Here's the first.
Next, please. Next, please.
What's a lowercase I signify?
5 seconds.
1-0.
Not the answer, I'm afraid, so there's a chance of a bonus for you engineers.
Route 2.
Do you want to have a go at what it actually is, the square root of 2?
1.41. ...
Oh, what I hoped to hear was 1.41421356237. But close enough. Can you explain to your opponents?
They are the square roots of integers going up, starting from -1.
That's right, so the I signifies the square root of -1, and then the square root of 0, 1 and 2. Root 2 would be the answer. So well done for the bonus, engineers. And which question would you like?
Eye of Horus.
Eye of Horus. Now, these are going to be picture clues. What would you expect to see in the 4th picture? Here's the first.
That's a chocolate bar, something. It's a lime.
It's not a lime, limes are thicker than that.
Next.
We're going to have to go next.
Yeah. Next.
Picture.
Not being that.
Peanut at picture. Brittle. Is it brittle? Peanut brittle?
Might be. I have absolutely...
3 seconds.
A rock.
A rock or some lovely sticks of rock is the answer. And why is that?
Stephen's going to have to explain it.
The first one is a picnic. The second one is the @ symbol.
Yep.
In the third one, they are hanging. And so it's the Geoffrey Eugene Adair's book, Picnic at Hanging Rock.
A very nearly flawless answer. The author is actually Joan Lindsay. Well done. All right, athletes, your turn to choose.
Twisted flax, please.
Twisted flax. What would be the fourth in this sequence? Here's the first.
Next, please. Next, please.
That's a let, isn't it?
Let.
What's a let? Something. D or Greek letter. Letter. Letter.
Yes.
5 seconds.
It's a point that you have to play again in tennis.
I will accept that answer. And why? Why will I accept it?
Because the first one is letter, and then the second one is let, L-E-T-T-E.
Kathy Lett, the author.
The third one is a let, L-E-T-T-T. And then the last one is a let, L-E-T.
L-E-T, so we'd have taken a rental or a type of tennis service. Very well done. Starting with the word letter, we're taking one letter off the end each time we arrive at L-E-T, let.
Good shout.
Well done. Back to you then, software engineers.
Horned viper.
Horned viper. What would you expect to see fourth in this sequence? Here's the first.
Look and listen. Yes, it's going to grow. So what's this? Look and listen.
Look left and right.
Carefully cross. Is it going to be carefully cross? Do we want to go on? Do we want to go on?
We
Oh,
need
yes.
another one.
Next.
Look left, look right.
It's then going to be across the road. That's not going to be across the road.
Yeah. Should we go for it? Cross the road safely.
I'm afraid that's not the answer, so I'm going to show the third in the sequence to the erstwhile athletes.
Keep using your eyes and ears.
Oh, no, although I think that crops up somewhere. Now, you know, don't you, that this is the Green Cross Code?
Yes.
Yes.
But obviously the capital letters and the exclamation marks, we're looking for the exact wording, and after look and listen, you get arrive alive. Weirdly, the actual road crossing is sort of, it's implied. You know, you sort of cross the road in between 3 and 4 there, aiming to arrive alive. Although, to be honest, I would think arrive alive would be the advice on each phase of it. But that's it. No points there. And the last question of the round goes to you athletes. It's water. What would be the fourth in this sequence? Here's the first.
Edward the Eighth. 77 so he's when he was born. Prince Edward.
Next, please.
He was king, isn't he?
George III. Look at that. That's the king. George III. 81. I wonder it was the last year.
No, 1820 he finished.
Next, please.
Victoria.
81.
Adrian, no, not Adrian died.
5 seconds.
It is the number of direct descendants they would have.
Say it.
What comes fourth in the sequence? No, that's too long, I'm afraid. I'm going to have to throw it over for a possible bonus to the engineers.
We think it's Elizabeth II still alive.
I'm going to let you have another go, and I want the fourth to look like the rest of the sequence.
She was born in 1920.
I can't leave you too long.
88.
Elizabeth II, 88.
I'm afraid not, because at time of recording, Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II is 87.
Oh,
Yes.
she's not had a birthday because it's not.
It's British monarchs in order not of rule but of longevity, and their ages in brackets. Obviously, Queen Victoria lived a few months longer than George III, and next would be Elizabeth II at 87. So at the end of round 2, the erstwhile athletes have 6 points, the software engineers have 8. And if either of the teams have been having nightmares about connecting walls since their first heat, good news, they can lay that ghost to rest with a new one. You'll be going first, erstwhile athletes. So you can choose connecting wall lion or water.
Lion, please.
OK, you have 2.5 minutes to solve the lion wall, starting now.
Clergy. OK, do you want to have a go? Yeah. We've got Sinatra, Davis, Martin, who else was in the Rat Pack with Sammy Davis Jr. We got tennis trophies, Hopman Cup,
Davis Cup,
Hopman Cup, Fed Cup,
Davis Cup,
Davis Cup, and the Kremlin Cup. Right, we got Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr., Dean Martin.
Oh no, Davis
is gone. Perhaps it's not then. Okay. Sorry, let me try and
try and get around
these again. Neighbour. Are they characters from something?
Number 3 strikes and you're out now.
So, Bishop.
No? Don't watch name. Frank's sister. Nancy Sinatra. Frank's
neighbour. Good neighbour. Sister Act. Hayley Childs, a runner. Light Tail. Steve Martin. Steve Martin. Nick Knight, batsman. John Bishop's a comedian. Steve Martin's a comedian.
Lovely.
We need to start.
2 goes now and 30 seconds. That's it. You've solved the wall. You seem surprised. I'll give you an immediate 4 points for providing that solution. What about the connections? Fed, Hopman, Davis, Kremlin.
They are cup competitions in tennis.
That's right, tennis cups. I thought that was pretty obscure, but I guess that's one of your specialist areas, the old sport. Canon, priest, pope, deacon.
Ranks in the Catholic clergy.
Well, you could say Catholic clergy, Christian clergy, really. They are all clergymen. What about this one? Child, knight, neighbour, sister.
All followed by act.
No, they are all followed by hood. Childhood, knighthood, neighbourhood, sisterhood. That's what that one is. And the last one, Lawford, Bishop, Sinatra, Martin.
Rat Pack.
They are all members of the Rat Pack. It was Bishop that threw you, Joey Bishop. He was a sort of comedian and singer. He was actually an early host of The Tonight Show before Johnny Carson, and the others Peter Lawford, Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin. So, 4 points for the groups you found and 3 more for connections. That is a total of 7. Time to bring back the software engineers, give them a little computer, they'll be comfortable with that until they see the new wall. It's the water wall for you guys. You've got 2.5 minutes to solve it, starting now.
OK. Moan, gripe, grouse. What else have we got? Beef. No, wine. OK. Miss out, gripe, miss out. There we go.
Small pile.
Or cache, safe place to put things, stock,
Pot.
reserve, hoard.
And store. There we go. Excellent.
Remember, 3 strikes now and you're out.
OK. Got time. Got
So if you've got Rayman, Mailman,
Chain
gang,
gang,
chain mail, chain letter.
Chain smoke.
chain store.
Chain smoke.
And chain store. OK, so what?
So it's the other 3 are in a
No,
group.
so what's the other 3?
Well, let's take
Pure.
Yeah, but how we don't
Pure-
know
oh,
it's
sorry,
those
okay,
3, so
fair
put the
enough.
other 3
Yeah,
together
pure.
and
Mo,
try and think of a connection.
Ray. Mo.
Are they pop groups?
I don't think so, but don't
The
ask
anagrams.
me. Anagram's quite plausible.
Rain's not an anagram of much.
Train.
We've got noodles of time.
We do.
Is it a suffix?
Well, this is a prefix, so that's unlikely to be a suffix.
Rain.
You're about halfway through the time.
Oh, yeah, this is. Oman. Peru. No.
Mali.
Mali. Should we
Take
just...
Rain out first, put Marley in and find another
Rain.
country.
I can't think of Chain Rain. Should we try that?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's it. You've solved the wall. So that's 4 points immediately. Let's look for the connections. Wine, beef, gripe, grouse.
They're words for complaining.
Ways to complain. Cash, stock, hoard, reserve.
They are stockpiles, things you keep in reserve.
Places you store things safely.
That's it, they're stores. And what about this? Rain, moan, pure, male.
They are anagrams of countries.
That's right. You said rain isn't an anagram of much, but it's an anagram of...
Iran.
Iran. And the last one, gang, store, smoke, letter.
Chain.
Please preceded by chain.
You can put chain before all of them. So that is, as well as the 4 points for finding the groups, 4 points for the connections, and you get the extra 2 for getting it all right. It's the maximum of 10 points. Very well done. Let's have a look at the scores going into the final round. The Erstwhile Athletes have 13 points. The Software Engineers have 18. You'll also find lots of walls on our website where you can also write your own. But we're going to play round 4, missing vowels. We've taken the vowels out of well-known names, phrases and sayings, squidged up the consonants. What are those disguised clues? Fingers on buzzers teams. The first group are all reasons you may hear a bell. Athletes.
Fire drill.
Correct. Engineers.
Time to wake up.
An alarm clock, that's right. Athletes.
Parliamentary division.
Correct. Athletes.
Last orders.
Chilling words, but that's correct. Next category, words that contain all 5 vowels only once. Athletes.
Education.
Correct. Engineers.
Authorise.
Correct. Engineers.
Sequoia.
Correct. Athletes.
Abstemious.
That's right. Next category, feminist works. Engineers.
The second sex.
Correct. Don't know this one. Virginia Woolf's A Room of One's Own. Next clue. Athletes.
Female eunuch.
Correct. Engineers.
The beauty myth.
That's correct. Next category, National Lottery game shows. Engineers.
Who dares wins?
Who dares wins is correct, and that means the Erstwhile Athletes finish on 19 points, but the Software Engineers are the winners with 24. Very well done. You are through to the next round. And Athletes, I'm afraid we have to say goodbye to you. You're going home. You've been an absolutely lovely team, and thank you for playing. Thanks to both teams. And there'll be more Only Connect after this short break. Well, fairly short. 167.5 hours. You've got a cup of tea, haven't you? Stay right where you are.